Senator Merkley, you're next.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And Mr. Johnson, one of the concerns we have about fentanyl is it coming over the border from Mexico. And my understanding is the main two ways that we detect it are with dogs and with highly sophisticated scanners. Is that your understanding?
Thank you. We're going to wind up pretty quick, I think.
Thank you, Senator. It is my understanding that those are two of the primary tools. Yes, sir.
Is there another primary tool?
There are other tools that could be developed that are available. Part of that would include human intelligence that's collected by law enforcement authorities and intelligence officials. Yes, sir.
And that intelligence often comes from a highly cooperative relationship with folks deep into Mexico who are tracking the whole entire route of production, ingredients, and so forth. So that relationship is very important. Senator Ossoff has a bill to fund the installation of scanners that are currently sitting in a warehouse that are designed for detecting fentanyl. Do you support getting those scanners and actually using them?
Sir, I don't have the details on that, but I would certainly think that is something that we should absolutely consider. I think fentanyl is a serious enough plague on the United States, on our citizens, that we need to look at every front and every step we can take to improve.
We'll get you details on that because I think it merits attention. I was appalled to understand that scanners are being left in a warehouse. Mr. Hoekstra, are you an advocate for free speech?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Does that include people expressing opinions that you disagree with?
Absolutely, yes.
So if an American is resident in Canada, should they, under Canada's also is free speech nation, should they be free to express their opinion on world affairs?
American citizens present in Canada or any foreign country have an obligation to, to live under the laws of that country.
Well, I'm asking about Canada specifically. And they have free speech rules. Should American Canada be able to express their opinion about world affairs?
Within the framework of the Canadian legal system, absolutely, yes.
Yeah. So, and that includes things that the President or the Prime Minister of Canada disagrees with?
If the should Americans be able to say something in Canada that the Canadian Prime Minister disagrees with?
Yes.
That is an American value. If it is consistent, I believe, to my background, I don't know all the specifics of Canadian law, but if confirmed, I will take a look at it. And obviously, you've got some concerns here that I would be more than willing to, work with you and see exactly what the concerns are.
Well, I've always viewed the United States as a champion of free speech.
Yes.
But we have the situation with the advocate who expressed concerns about the situation in Gaza, being detained, arrested by the U.S. government last week in New York, and was arrested because of his opinion differing with the president's. Don't you think that's very un-American?
Again, I know something about this. I'm not an expert. The understanding of the I'll probably get into. I don't know all the legal ramifications for this individual who was in the United States, under what status and what rights he exactly has. So
he was here under a green card. Don't people on green card have freedom of expression in the United States of America?
Again, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't have the legal background on this. This is something that you really need to take
up. If the United States is detaining people because their views disagree with the president's, doesn't that set a very bad precedent for the world?
I think you have to take a look at exactly what status they have in the United States and what freedoms under U.S. law those individuals have. That is.
So if somebody is in the U.S. and they express an opinion that the President of the United States doesn't like, they should be free to express that.
If their status, depending on, this will all, it's a hypothetical question in terms of what they've said.
It's not that hypothetical. We just have a case of somebody under a green card being arrested for their opinion on a war in Gaza.
I don't.
Myself, I support free speech. I support people being able to say lots of things the president disagrees with. Don't you?
I agree. I agree on free speech. I agree that people should be, in America, should be allowed to speak, express their views consistent with the legal requirements and the legal boundaries by which they are here in the country.
Well, I hope with that viewpoint, you will call up the president and say, we need to not arrest people for their views on foreign policy here in the United States of America, that it's wrong under our Constitution, it's wrong under the law, it's wrong under the example we set around the world, that we are going to be champions of freedom, not folks who take political prisoners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Senator, there's a difference between free speech and giving aid and support to people who...
Mr. Chairman, do you have any evidence that this individual gave aid and support? Because there's been no evidence provided by the administration. So I do not think we should accuse somebody who opposed the war or opposed circumstances unless you have evidence for that.
Appreciate your views.